can view content on your phone in 3D with the addition of this snap-on. And when I first saw this product, I was quite excited and I had to get one. So here it is. But there's a little bit of a story behind that I'll just share as well. To cut a long story short, I ordered another product and due to delivery issues was given a freebie, the Kula bebe. I will skip straight to that part of the story where I was given this gift. But feel free to listen to the whole story by viewing my previous video on the review of the Snap3D. So now, without further ado, let's skip straight to the end of the story. And so with all of the issues that we've had, they threw in a freebie. And hey, I'm not complaining. This is a great combination. This here is a snap-on to a mobile phone to be able to take 3D photos. And this here is a screen that allows me to see the content in 3D. What a perfect combination. Okay, so now let's have a look at this Kula bebe. So I will have a look inside. Okay, let's have a look what's in the box. Obviously you have your 3D camera. It comes with an attachment, a clip that allows you to attach it to your mobile phone. It also comes with traditional anaglyph red-blue glasses, and they allow you to view the images that you've created with your 3D camera hands-free. The disadvantage, of course, with that is that you get this color skew looking through these red and blue filters. But you do also get a cardboard viewer that you have to assemble yourself, and we'll do that in just a moment. It basically allows you to view the images by inserting your mobile phone in the front, and you can then look through it similar to the way that you would have looked at ViewMaster images way in the past, or more recently with Google Cardboard and your mobile phone attached to that. Okay, so now without further ado, let's assemble this cardboard viewer that comes with the Kula bebe. Here you have it. You have instructions on the cardboard box to follow right along. Let's do it. There you have it, but we have one more thing to do, and that is, of course, to put a mobile phone inside the case. Now, as the case may be, the mobile phone may be larger than the case, in which case you can fold over the edge of the case to allow the phone to stick out on the side, as you can see here. And then, voila, you are ready to view your images. But before we can do that, we need to take some photos so that we have something to look at. With that, let's have a look at the camera itself. So this camera attachment comprises of a set of mirrors that split the image into a left and right eye side-by-side image with a eye separation of about 4 centimeters. Now, an average person has a eye separation of about 6.4 centimeters, So that means that the stereoscopic effect that you get from this attachment is slightly less than reality. Let's put the camera attachment on in front of the lens so you can see what actually happens. Now, of course, to do this, you will want to remove the protective film and attach the clip so that the camera stays attached to the mobile phone. Now, it is important to keep the mirrors clean, and you can actually detach the inner mirrors from the outer mirrors, as I'm showing you right here. You do, however, have to be careful as you do that. It is somewhat of a tight fit on mine anyway, and as I have removed them, I have had a mirror drop off and I had to super glue it back. Now, if that ever happens to you, be mindful that you need to join the mirrors in the right direction, as they are pointed and need to form a knife's edge. Okay, enough talking. Let's actually go ahead and take some photographs. So to do that, I'm going to clip this attachment onto the mobile phone, just like that. We'll make adjustments to it in just a moment, but first we need to open up the Kula app. I'm just going to do that now. There we go. And the app is now open. We'll shift that to the photo mode, which is the white ball, and make the adjustments to this attachment. Now, there is a bracket on the attachment here that allows you to slide it so that it aligns, and it's also important because this tends to slide up and down the phone. It's quite slippery. Now, I'm using this phone without a case. If it has a case on it, it may not be that slippery. Okay, so let's go ahead and take some photos. Let me make some adjustments first, just to get this nicely aligned. And there we go, that's nice. Okay, so here we go. I can tap on the screen to focus, just like with any other camera. Here we go, we'll take our first image. Done. I'll just turn around a little bit and take another one. The other thing that I can do is zoom. So you press on this wheel and then a zoom bar appears at the bottom. And I can now scroll that up to zoom in to take a close-up shot. I'm going to take that back out again because that's a little bit too close, and switch it over to video mode, and we'll just take a walk down and take a video as well, so I can show you what that looks like. Here we go, switching on the video and walking down the side of the garden. Right. I have noticed that the Kula camera app struggles at times with focusing, but there is no manual focus mode. In fact, the Kula camera app only has very basic features. It has a trigger button and a zoom, and that's about the extent of it. However, that doesn't mean that you need to be limited by this. You can use the Kula bebe with any other camera app, including the one that is provided by your mobile phone vendor. This is possible because it is the hardware that does the work here, not the camera app. The mirrors ensure that you end up with two stereoscopic images in side-by-side format. So feel free to use manual focus or manual exposure or any other rich features in other camera applications. You are not limited to the software provided by Kula. Okay, enough talking. let's have a look at the images that we've taken. Here we are in the viewer of the Kula app, and there's various different ways that you can have a look at the photos that you've taken. To do that, you press at the what looks like the treasure chest down at the lower right hand corner. So I'm just going to press that now, and you see a number of different icons appear. So the first one is just a bit of information. The second one is a wiggle ram. So it allows you to view your 3D image by having it flip between the left and the right eye. And that way you get some sort of stereoscopic perception without any glasses. And anybody looking at your phone can see the same thing, or you can forward this to others as well. You can share it, and nobody needs any special equipment to have a look at this. There are a few tools here available to you to edit this as well. So you can just with your finger drag the image to another place to cause the wiggle ram to operate from different perspectives. And you can recenter it again by pressing that recenter. Generally, the software does a good job with the alignment, so you don't have to do any of that adjustment yourself. But you do see that there are some edges that appear because of the edges of the mirror. We can crop that out. So you have got a cropping tool here as well, just to crop out the area that is of interest. And that allows you to get a nice clean image without those blurred edges that we saw before. Okay, so that's one way of viewing your 3D photo. Just a 2D way of viewing the photo is provided as well. So that basically, I don't know which one it picks. It either picks your left or your right eye and only shows that view. The red and blue circles, they are your anaglyph way of looking at the image. And for this, you need anaglyph glasses. So this is what you need your red and blue glasses for. Here, the image is in black and white. So you won't get a color image, you'll get a black and white 3D image by looking through your red and blue glasses. Then the monitor with the line through it is a upper-lower stereoscopic way of looking at your image. So it has the separation of left eye and right eye, top to bottom. And that is mainly used for viewing the image on a 3D TV or something that supports that format. And 3D TVs typically support that format. So if you were to save this in that format and then upload it to your TV, say with a USB drive, you would be able to view that in 3D. Another way of looking at it is this, and you see these two eyes that are cross-eyed, is to swap the left and right eye image over. And then if you cross your eyes, then you would basically see the right image going to left eye and the left image going to your right eye, and you also see that stereoscopically. So that's another way of viewing this image, and you can try it right now as you're looking at this video, and you would see that in 3D. It's an awkward way of looking at it, but it doesn't need any equipment. Again, you don't need to have any glassware, you don't need to have any special equipment to look at this in 3D. You can look at it straight like this. And then you have your parallel view, and that's this treasure chest that you see here. For this, you would put your phone into the cardboard box that we've made before, the viewer, and you would then be able to view your image that way. Just something to note when you do put it into your cardboard box. Obviously, once the phone is inside the box, it becomes hard to touch it, to navigate. There is access points at the bottom of the box to let your fingers in, so you can still touch the touch screen of your phone and navigate even though it's inside the cardboard box. Okay, there you have it. Those are the different methods of viewing your 3D images. Okay, just a note on videos. We have a video here in the viewer. Now for videos, you don't have all of those viewing options. You see that this part where we touch the icon to bring up the different views is grayed out. So you've got a gray box there, and if I touch on that, it does come up with the icons, but you can't actually select any of them. The video is only available in its raw format, and that format is the parallel view format. So with this, you would use your cardboard viewer, and you can watch the video using that. Okay, we've looked at taking a photo. We've also looked at viewing the photos. We've established that you can use the Kula Scope app to take photos, and you can also use a third-party mobile phone camera app to take photos. We've also had a look at the various formats that we can view, including side by side, top and bottom, animated GIFs called Wiggle RAM in the Kula Scope application, and black and white anaglyphs. What we have not looked at so far is what happens in between, the processing of the photo. And that's, although not all that visible to you, is actually quite important. Something happens between the taking of the photo and the viewing of the photo that makes it possible to view the 3D image in a way that makes sense to your eyes. If there's any slight misalignments, if there's any size differences, if there's anything like that between the left eye and the right eye, it makes the 3D effect go away, and it also makes the viewing of that image uncomfortable. So there's some processing that needs to happen, and this all happens in the background. You need to do nothing, it just automatically takes place. The first thing that happens is that the left image and the right image is separated, and then the alignment takes place. So there's alignment to bring the images for your left eye and the right eye to the same locations, resizing them and rotating them as necessary, and also applying any other optical corrections that may be necessary. So all of that takes place, and that is actually quite a strength of the Kula Scope software. It does this really well. It's not something that's all that visible to you as an end user. All you do is take a photo. This takes place automatically, but it does this really well. You do, however, have the option of using third-party software for that also. There is an application called Stereo Photo Maker, for example. It also allows you to do all these things either automatically or manually. So if you want to have control over this processing, you can use an application such as this. And then furthermore, if you use Stereo Photo Maker, you also have additional formats that you can output, such as anaglyphs and color, the Fujifilm MPO format, which is a standard that is in the industry for 3D photography, lenticular formats, the looking glass format, which is a new piece of hardware that's just recently come out, and also the more traditional shutter glass type viewing. All of those are made available through an external application that's not necessarily available in your Kula Scope. All in all though, the viewing, the standard sort of viewing that you would be doing, the formats in the Kula Scope should be sufficient, and as I've said, the actual processing is really well done. Just to show you the various different combinations that you can process with, you can mix and match, right? So you can get the best of both worlds, the Kula Scope world and the third-party world. You can take photos with your Kula Scope, for example, and then export them out and use external apps to process them. and vice versa. You can take photos with your software on your mobile phone and then import them back into Kula Scope and process them there. Of course, in all cases, you will need to use the Kula bebe to take the photos. I have actually done this, so let us go to have a look at that. I have taken a photo with the Kula Scope and processed it with the Kula Scope, and I've also used third-party applications. You can see on this quadrant here all the 4 different combinations and the results of those. And as you can see, the results are fairly similar, showing that the quality of either the third-party or the Kula Scope processing is quite equivalent. You've got a good processing software included in your Kula Scope. The one thing of note, of course, is that the Kula Scope processing results in a black and white anaglyph, whereas the Stereo Photo Maker anaglyph is in color. Now, if you happen to have some red and blue 3D glasses lying around, you can view these again here straight from the screen, and you will see the stereoscopic effect and how all of these come out with very similar results. So I just wanted to mention that at the beginning of this video, I made mention of a third-party product called Snap3D from Mopic. That is actually another way that you can view this content in 3D. Okay, finally, we also need to talk just briefly about video taking. One thing to note here is that no processing takes place when we use the Kula Scope when we take a video. You can view the video. The video is viewable through the Kula Scope application, but only in its raw format. What you can do, however, is use a third-party application. Stereo Movie Maker is one of those that allows you to make those adjustments that we talked about earlier for images. You can also make adjustments like that for videos. This Stereo Photo Movie Maker also allows you to output in various different formats. You have the side-by-side, obviously. You also have the top and bottom. You have anaglyphs both in color and in black and white. You have an interlaced format that you can put out, and also the shutter glass format. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and God bless.